Hello, St. Luke friends, families, well wishers. Man, it's really something to be in this predicament, and you know, missing our fellowship. And I'm thankful to God, however, that we do we do miss our fellowship, and I miss you. Good seeing you coming through the line for the produce that we give on Wednesdays between 10 and 1. Now, for the next 2 weeks, that program is suspended on announcements, and we'll let you know when it starts again. I think it's around the 1st of July. We'll start back to issuing the produce which is given to us. We thank the Legacy Center for being the point of contact for the USDA food that we are able to provide, that produce and milk. And tell your neighbors, we get about 100 boxes, and depending on the milk, and we issue it out, and that's free. So we're thankful for that. Make sure our seniors, I love our seniors. And one of these days, in about 50 years, I might join that rank. Okay, 40. At any rate, make sure you call our seniors and make sure they're okay. And if there are any needs that you can't meet, let us know. On that note, Deacon Basham, who had surgery a little while back, he's on his way back in this direction. So I think he'll be going to work next week. And Sister Basham said she thank you all for keeping her in prayer during the ordeal of anyway, Deacon Basham is up and running. Brother Ponder will be home next week. Keep the Ponder family in prayer, will you? And also, Brother Deacon Frazier in surgery as we speak. Keep the Frazier family in prayer as well. And our own Sister Anderson, keep her in prayer as well. God is a good God. He is a healer in every sick room. Amen. I know we say he's a doctor, but he is the only healer. Amen. So let's keep them in prayer. Happy congrats to our graduates again on this Sunday. Our teens will be leading the worship experience, and we're going to give the names and all of that with our children. We have our graduation program during service this Sunday. Now, there are a lot of you still asking about the opening. I'm still in prayer. I hope you are still in prayer as well. I just noticed the stats today. There are about 20,000, over 20,000 cases, over 688 deaths in the state of Alabama. And about 20 states in the Union, in the United States, 20 states are seeing an increase in the sicknesses from the virus. So we're praying. We're hoping that we can level off and understand hospital beds are becoming short in some states, to include the state of Alabama. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be in one of them. Having said that, you need to start preparing for this fall. The medical professionals, epidemiologists, scientists are saying to us that unless we find a treatment, this fall may wreak havoc on the United States. Flu season. So let me do something and tell you something that I'm going to do this year. I'm going to take the flu shot. Haven't taken the flu shot in 30 years. But this year, your pastor is going to take the flu shot. I've talked to some people about it, and I didn't take it because the initial shot that I had years ago made me sick. I was young, strong. It made me sick. And I said to myself, I was in the military, I said to myself, Self said, what you want, TC? I said, well, we're not going down that route again. We've been fortunate. But after talking to specialists today, you know, after coming through so many iterations of flu shots, they told me that I need to take it. And I'm going to take it. Amen. It's free. It's free. I'm going to take it. And I'll have some more information about flu shots and how they work. Because they had to tell me to lay it out, let me know what's going on with the flu shot. So I've been convinced that I need to take the flu shot this season. I was also asked, and coming in the next few sessions, we will have 2 lists. One list will deal with things you need to start buying and preparing for this fall season. Don't wait till the fall season come, but if you can, get a little bit at the time. So we'll have a list of things you may need to get for the cold season on the medical side, and we'll also have a list of non-perishable food items that you need to have available in the event. The other thing I was told, and I'm telling you, is that this virus affects the respiratory system. And respiratory system is not strong. It has a more damaging effect. And when I inquired what we need to do, I was told that, those who run should run. Those who walk should walk. Those who turn flips should turn flips and exercise. But we need to work on our respiratory system to strengthen them up so that, if we do get the attack, we'll be strong enough to have to avoid ventilators. Amen. So we need to start running. I run a little bit, jog a little bit, or jog a little bit, and walk a little bit. I've been doing it most of my life now. 47 years or so. I've been running or trying to run. It used to be running. Now it's not. It's too fast for walking, too slow for jog. So I just call it jogging. I'm jogging around here. But it's helping. It helps my upper respiratory. And there are other things that help the upper respiratory. We'll get you lists of those. The other thing, vitamin C and vitamin D. Vitamin C, of course, you get that from your fruits, oranges and stuff like that. Anything that's high vitamin C and vitamin D, and always ask your doctor what are those levels. Are you low in vitamin D? You get that from the sun, and so sometimes we need supplements for the vitamin D. It's a very important vitamin to have in your system because it is a director, meaning directing the right stuff to the right place to be stored for the proper development of cells. So vitamin D and vitamin C are important. So make sure you pay attention to that. And as far as opening concerned, and I'm prophesying now because I've talked to our chair Deacon Lockett, and I think he's planning a parking lot barbecue, and we may do some other things in the parking lot. I don't really know what they're going to be. I kind of want to stay in a place to where we can meet, do the distance. So your announcements are this evening at 6 o'clock. We will have our word in worship. Pray to meet you there. And I want to thank you for Sunday. Thank you for those who contacted me and let me know that I didn't have a microphone for the communion. I'm going to blame that on the audio crew. Yeah, I'm going to blame that on them. But thank you for your criticism. Not criticism, but critique. Anything else you see, because, I'm new at this. And so there are other things that we need to do or can do. And you young people, I need some help with what I can do to minister to you beyond this. What would you like? If there's a topic you like to have, or if there are questions you have about anything, but certainly about God, a question that you have about the movement of now, the Black Lives Matter movement, the movement for justice as it relates to policing, but that's not all we're asking for. Tomorrow I'll be in a prayer service that has been called by Pastor Rusty of the Rock Family Worship Center. And I'm going as a first step to bringing black and white pastors together, leaders together. And we want to pray. Now, I believe that we ought to do that. We ought to do that up front. We ought to pray. Prayer put us in the position to pull in the right direction for possible solutions to the problems that we're facing. So I want to pray with the brothers. Amen. There'll be a number of pastors and preachers downtown tomorrow, which will be, I think it's the 11th. I believe tomorrow is the 11th. The irony of it is, the 11th of June, 1963, George Wallace stood in the door at the University of Alabama. And it took John Fitzgerald Kennedy and the national to federalize the National Guard to get the door open at Roll Tide. Earlier this week, the University of Alabama took down all those pictures that recognize the Confederacy and other generals, whoever it was, as it took them down to put them in a more appropriate place. Also looking at the buildings who are named after the generals. There's a movement in the land, a movement that God is shifting for a correction. We missed it in the 60s, but we're not going to miss it now. We're going to open the doors to our brothers. We're going to call them out of the church, out of the pulpit. We're going to sit down and we're going to let them see it through our eyes. Amen. Amen. See if they can see the trouble we see. And we're going to work together for substantive solutions. Amen. I'm going to pray with them, but I've already put them on notice. We got to get up off our knees and we have to start marching toward a brighter future for my children, for my people. Amen. Amen. If you want to pray with me, you ought to want to work with us. Let me just move on. I'm preaching now. So tomorrow, there's a call to prayer. I believe it starts at 6 in Bronze Spring. We ought to fill Bronze Springs up tomorrow as much as possible. Don't be afraid because they threw the tear gas. We're going to leave when we're supposed to leave, the way we're supposed to leave. We're going reaching to our brothers who have an advantaged voice and a voice of privilege and leverage. Because if they'll work with us, we can get someplace. The system will listen to them. Amen. But if they're not willing to work, do something besides prayer, don't waste my time. Somebody say amen to the pastor. Amen. Amen. Let me just move on away from that. So tomorrow, I'm going to city council first. I have some things for city council. And I feel like tomorrow they're going to talk about moving a statue down on the courthouse lawn. Amen. That statue on the courthouse lawn of that Confederate soldier is not about the Civil War anyway. It's about Jim Crow. Jim Crow, that 100 years where a system worse than slavery existed for 100 years until the Civil Rights Movement. A system where the 13th Amendment added that clause that say you could be free unless you were in prison. Jim Crow created laws to imprison us unjustly and then lease us back to the same plantations that we've been freed from. The problem now was that when we were slaves, they took care of us because they needed us. We were property. When we became property of the state and they leased us, they beat more of us to death than they did in slavery. Somebody talk to me right there. Because all they had to do is go back and lease another piece of property. Another man who had gone to jail for just not having a job. Gone to jail for looking the wrong way down the street. Just made up black codes and laws to put us in jail, to lease us back out to the same plantations. That's the 100 years of Jim Crow that has affected the black family until right now. Our brothers got to hear this, to know that we know this. Not a matter of forgiveness. We need to walk forward knowing that I'm knowledgeably equipped with why we are where we are. Oh, I'm getting passionate about that thing. And so y'all pray for your pastor. Because I'm not about doing nothing. I've been waiting to have an opportunity. I've asked the opportunity. I've asked us to get up, us black preachers. Let's do something besides pray. Something besides write on a piece of paper. Something. Let's go downtown in our robes and march around the courthouse till the statue fall down. Something. Amen. Amen. There's nothing to fear but fear itself. And our community need to see us leading. Amen. Not abnegate our responsibility for the people in our congregation. They need to see us out front with the power of God on our side. Amen. So let's do that. These are the announcements from the St. Luke Christian Church. Again, tomorrow at 6. Your pastor will be downtown, especially if I get the commitments that I've asked for. If I don't get those commitments, I won't be down there praying. I can pray anywhere. I don't have to go down there to pray for no photo ops with the mayor and the chief of police. I know too much about them. Amen. Let me tell you one more thing. I don't want you to be buffaloed. No, I don't want you to be bamboozled if they decide to move that statue. That statue is only half the story anyway. I'm not asking them to move the statue. I'm asking them to go to Montgomery, to the Equal Justice Initiative, to the museum, get those coffins with all those names of people lynched in Madison County, bring them back to the courthouse square and put them right there where the statue is, because that will complete the story. Standing is the victor and lying is the victim. Standing is the police with his neck on the knee on the victim's neck. Tell the whole story. If you're going to leave it there, tell the whole story. And Brian Stephen has offered to our mayor and the coalition of politicians in this Madison County, that Madison County coalition, he has offered that come to Montgomery and get every coffin of every individual that was lynched in Madison County. That's right. That's right. The president of the Committee for 100, Brother John Allen, and I talked about it, and they went to the museum. They went to see the lynching museum. And Brian Stevens was there personally. And invited, y'all can put it on the bus with you. You want to. Take it back to Huntsville. I'm not asking to move the statue. Tell the whole story. So when your children ask what the statue about, I don't want you talking about Civil War, because it's not. It's about Jim Crow. Let me just go on. Listen, those are the announcements. Be sure to be with us on Sunday. We're going to have the graduation. Yeah, and I'll see you at 6. God bless you. God keep you. That is our prayer.